What's the first thing that comes to mind when someone says luxury? Mansions, designer clothes, supercars. This is probably what most people think of. But true luxury, it's actually something that's accessible to everybody. It doesn't have to be expensive and it doesn't have to be trending. It's not about what you have. It's about simply enjoying things that are high quality, meaningful, and intentional. I believe it's the small things that can make a huge difference, and that's why today we'll be taking a look at 14 simple luxuries that can elevate your workspace. We come back to our workspace every day, but most of us never think about how powerful and impactful some good intentional lighting can be. Most of us just turn on the ceiling lights or just have the lights off. But all we need to do is add a few ambient lights, then the whole mood of the room is warmer and invites more productive work. For my current workspace, I've gone with these light sconces from Amazon, a monitor light from BenQ, this floor lamp from Amazon, and blackout shades that allow me to control the environment. Especially for creative individuals, having a nice desk monitor can be a simple thing that can bring your whole workspace to the next level. Oftentimes, people will get a desk monitor because they want more screen space, they want to improve their posture, or they've just seen some of their friends that have a monitor, so they think that they should have one too. But the problem is, not all monitors are created equal. People think that you can just look up monitor on Amazon, and buying the cheapest option is going to be the same result as if you buy a more expensive monitor. But investing in a good monitor can have a huge impact in your work experience. I have the Apple Studio display, and what I love about this option is not just the premium materials and built-in speakers, but the image quality and more than anything else, the color accuracy. But now let's move on to what lives on my desk. A desk shelf has a way of completing the look of your workspace and makes it look very intentional. It allows your monitor to be eye level, which improves your posture, gives extra space for some additional items without making it look too cluttered, and brings everything together aesthetically and functionally. I use the Bololo cockpit because it's customizable but also looks and feels really high quality. Now let's take a look on what's on my desk shelf. How long you can stay focused has a huge impact on what you can actually get done. Having a nice MagSafe stand can help you stay focused. Your iPhone automatically recognizes when it's on a MagSafe charger and it puts itself into standby mode. This gives you multiple clock options that complement your space, but it can also work as a timer, which is really useful when you want to lock in for a couple of minutes. I use the Nomad Stand 1. It has a nice heavy weight and is made out of metal and glass, but I also recommend Ugmonk or Artifox. If you don't mind having something that doesn't feel as nice, you can pick one of these up for less than 50 bucks. But I would just recommend buying a nicer one that you know that you're gonna want to keep forever. Now let's talk about what's on the other side of the desk shelf. A good scent is one of those things that has the power to completely change the mood of the environment. You can make your space feel luxurious like a designer store or productive like a coffee shop, making it a more inviting space. But it's also one of the easiest ways to make your space feel like you. I've enjoyed this one because it looks really great in my space, but it also brings a nice warm charcoal smell into the room, which makes it feel 5 times more expensive than it actually is. One of my favorite things to see in a workspace is that it was thought about and created with intention. And in my opinion, nothing says intentional more than a nice laptop riser. It pairs perfectly with the desk shelf, improves posture, it gives your laptop a place to live on your desk, and it just looks good. This one is also from Bololo, and I like it because it has cork on the bottom, which prevents it from scratching the desk. It also has felt on the top where your laptop sits to keep your MacBook in mint condition. And speaking of felt, let's talk about one of the more affordable luxuries that I absolutely can't live without in my workspace. Having a nice desk mat is the easiest, quickest, and most affordable way to level up your workspace. Adding a nice texture to your desk doesn't only make it feel more luxurious, but it adds a cozy element to the space that's absolutely essential. I also enjoy having a spot on my desk where I can set stuff without scratching or denting the desk. I got this one on Amazon for only $17. I've also had a leather desk mat, which still looks good, but I've switched to the felt because it's more comfortable, and the soft charcoal finish looks a lot better than the reflective black in my opinion. A keyboard and mouse are essential desk items that you absolutely need. Choosing one that matches the look is a great way to make your space look even more cohesive. But it's worth looking around for one that's highly rated to assure that you're going to get a good product that's been tested and enjoyed by many other people before you. I've gone with Logitech, specifically the MX Keys Mechanical and the MX3 mouse, because they use high quality, durable materials, offer matching colors across their lineup, and have a really good track record with all of their products. One of the easiest ways to level up your workspace is to make sure it's not just aesthetic, but also functional. Having a pen and paper on hand is a great way to disconnect digitally while still making forward progress in your work. You can store your ideas, declutter your mind, or even use small cards like these to write down the tasks that you want to accomplish for the day. I like to store a pen and paper under my desk shelf, which brings us to our next luxury. Regardless of how nice your workspace is or how many simple luxuries you have, none of it will feel elevated if it's not clean. Having a place for everything is the easiest and possibly the only way to keep your workspace clean. To the right of my desk, I have this storage cabinet where I keep my documents and books, but also a place where I can throw random things that I won't need right away, like some cords and camera gear. Attached to my desk shelf is this storage shelf with a large tray where I keep a pen, paper, and sometimes a pocket knife for when I'm opening packages. I leave extra room under my desk shelf so I can tuck my keyboard away when I'm writing something down. One other storage essential is having a catch-all tray. This is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's simply just a tray where you can put anything to keep your space clean. This next one is a luxury that isn't necessarily aesthetic, but definitely essential. Having a dedicated place to plug all of your stuff in will clean things up a lot. If there's anything you can do in your workspace to feel like you have your life together, it's this: getting all of your cords organized. It's not a fun process, but you'll only need to do it once and then it will serve you forever. I personally use the Bolello cable system and then just a surge protector from Amazon. Now that you have a clean space, it's time for the fun part. Adding art throughout your workspace is a great way to make it yours. Good art can keep you inspired and invite your best work. I went with these two posters from Sandgrain Studio. I have more of a busy mind, so I chose simple art that can counter the busyness and bring me back down to earth. I also have this 1/18 size model of the Pagani Zonda because I've always loved supercars since I was a young kid. So it's a reminder of feeling like a kid, but it's also a source of motivation for me. The last thing that I display is my Fujifilm X106 limited edition. It looks dang good, but it's also functional as I can simply take it off the wall and snap a few photos when I'm feeling inspired. The biggest change that I've made to elevate my work environment is having an accent wall. When I was first building an office space in 2022, I drew some inspiration from a good friend of mine, Landon, by the way. Landon was always going the distance to add an accent wall to his space. I first gave this a try when my office was also in my room and I immediately fell in love with it. In the office that I'm in now, the wall color that we went with is Essex green. It adds a really nice, sophisticated, and almost an old money look, and I've been obsessed with it. The color that I got from my friend Landon a couple years back was Little Black Dress, and that's a color that I still love and would recommend to this day. Now lastly, let's take a look at what could possibly be the most expensive upgrade to your office, but one that you'll never regret putting good money on. An office chair seems like one of those things that you can go cheap on and get away with. But if you're spending over 8 hours a day at your desk, a good chair will be the difference between a healthy back and good posture, or a bad back and more visits to the chiropractor. If you don't currently deal with any back pain, you could get away with a variety of chairs in the market. But if you're already dealing with serious back pain, I would recommend looking into the Herman Miller Embody. The chair that I have is a collaboration between Herman Miller and Logitech, which offers a little bit more padding. To be honest, I can't believe that they're able to charge so much for a desk chair, but at the same time, I used to have pretty bad back pain, and since getting this chair for myself, I haven't been dealing with any back pain at all. I personally couldn't swallow the asking price for this chair, so I looked on Facebook Marketplace and got this chair for almost half off. I've found that investing in high quality items is always worth it in the long run. There's never a reason to upgrade in the future when you buy the products that you want to begin with. They always last longer and they will save you more money overall. Nice simple things remind you that life isn't just about living, but feeling alive, and sometimes it's as simple as having a few luxuries. I truly believe that each of these things will have a positive impact on your day-to-day and will elevate your workspace. If you could elevate your workspace with just one of these things, which one would you choose? For this video, I'll be responding to every comment, so let me know down below. Subscribe and I'll see you guys tomorrow.